Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Meta Cafe. Grab your cup of coffee or your tea, sit back and relax, and let's chat about not only what's happening up in the sky today, but also for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And let me tell you, this is a power-packed, action-packed weekend. It might leave you breathless. It might be filled with ups and downs. So you'll want to take special note of especially today and Sunday's energy, because they're likely going to be the wildest 2 days of the weekend, with some things to watch out for, but also the potential for getting some things done, right? Getting to some action. So let's just dig in. I want to wait for a couple of minutes until the bulk of people join us, because there is so much to go through. So let me just ask everybody, how are they doing? And are you having a good time? Or are you enjoying the energies of the days? It hasn't been a horrible week at all. It's just been sort of action-packed, lots going on, lots to talk about. I went in this morning, and I apologize, I didn't even think about going back and doing it yesterday, but I posted in the Living Astrology Facebook page the link to the True Manifesting from the Soul Dr. Beckwith talk, and so that you can sign up for it. The link, you have to go in, sign up for it, and then they will give you a list of times and dates that you can choose to tune in. And so I posted that up there this morning. I say, yes, do it. It's only up until the 27th, so Wednesday. And take this opportunity. Just take this opportunity. It's only, I don't know, maybe it was an hour, 15 minutes, an hour and a half. For one thing, the meditation in the video is amazing, and it's worth it to wait through to the end just for that video of just for that meditation. So let's see, who do we have this morning? Mimi, good morning. And Jan Landry, good morning. Linda, good morning. Marissa says, good morning. April, nice to see you. Mimi says, good morning from the gallery. I've been watching the hearings. I just read the endings of the hearings, because, depending on what news outlet you're watching, it spins it either way. And I really can't stand, I just can't stand. I just read the transcript, if you will. But Mimi, is there anything interesting happening, astrologically or in the mix that we've talked about astrologically that you can draw conclusions with? That would be interesting. Debbie, good morning. Marisa says, please tell me it's a good day to resolve conflict with a friend over our children's behavior toward one another. I talked to the other mom at noon. Well, it might be. It depends on how you approach it. We'll jump into that. Today's not a day that's particularly filled with conflict. In fact, the moon has moved into Libra. Libra is a great sign for conflict resolution, right? Because it creates win-win scenarios rather than win-lose or lose-lose even. So, but it also can trigger the need to try to be fair, to see all sides of a situation, all viewpoints, and to be able to come to a middle ground where things can be solved. And what an opportunity for you to, as mothers or as parents, whoever's involved, to be able to show children how best to find a solution to a conflict or a confrontation. It's great. Colleen Jackson, happy Friday to you as well. And let's jump in. I think there's enough of you here now. I hated to jump in and start to talk about all of the good things and then have to repeat myself or have people miss it. So this morning at 6:49 a.m. my time, which would be 9:49 for you all on the East Coast, the sun left the sign of Scorpio and moved into the sign of Sagittarius. So we're shifting from the deep waters of Scorpio to the more exuberant, outwardly focused energy of the Archer, whose arrow, by the way, is aimed right at the Galactic Center, the heart of the galaxy, the Galactic Center. It is orienting us, if you think about it. This sign orients us to that position in the heavens where all of our good, all of our energy, all of our evolutionary impulses come from. So we're aimed at the heart of the galaxy, given courage to reach out to the world, in a way that expands both our experiences and our truths, right? We're not, it's the experience, it's our beliefs. This is mutable fire. Mutable meaning changeable, and change is afoot. Change is akin to transformation. And we have an opportunity during these next several days, 28 to 30 days, 30 days actually, to change our beliefs, change our thinking, change our thought patterns, and discover real truths. Sagittarius is involved with the capital T truth, right? Not just the little truths that we find, when we are dealing with opinions and things like that. Those are personal truths that maybe are true and maybe are not. So here we seek to move from opinion to real truths. And what are those unifying truths? We may find we have increased confidence, optimism, and seeing the bigger picture now for the next. So where Scorpio energy, the sun in Scorpio was shining light on the deeper inward processes, the sun in Sagittarius is focusing on the broader picture, the expanded view of the universe, the expanded potential for all of us. We do have some things to watch out for, though, while the sun is in Sagittarius, and that is about overdoing it. And you're going to hear me later tell you about a change that's coming in tomorrow with the Human Design Week. That is also going to make it harder for us, at least initially, to keep our energy in bounds. So keep your expectations manageable while the sun is moving through Sagittarius. We have a tendency to have these big, lofty expectations, which are not grounded in any kind of reality. And so given to the fact that Jupiter is the ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, we have the ability to tap into something bigger, to the higher truths, to higher expectations. But you know how expectations are. They can leave us feeling like we didn't reach our goals. And expectations are just our opening up to what more is possible, not the absolute concrete expectations that sometimes we think, right? And then if something doesn't happen the way we thought it would happen, then we're left feeling like we failed, or like the universe isn't providing us the things that we need. We have a tendency with the sun in Sagittarius to take straight talking to the nth degree, overdoing it and becoming blunt and using words as swords as opposed to using them in an empowering way. So we want to watch that we don't take that thing that we need to say to somebody and turning it into blunt hurtfulness. So we'll want to be careful for that over the next several days as well. Faith, hope, vision, optimism. Those are the key words in Sagittarius. We're aiming with our arrows to the higher self, to the higher principles, to higher knowing. So we're taking and lifting ourselves up off the ground, and we are aiming for a higher picture. And that is also increasing our luck, if you will. The planet Jupiter is always seemingly the lucky break, or when things happen, things seem to line up when you are in a space of surrender. You're going to hear that word for today as well. When you're in a space of surrender, when you're allowing, then things tend to move really smoothly, and it's as if by magic, right? It's a luckiness that happens. So we have some good energies coming up for the next several weeks. I really love Sagittarius energy. Of course, it's the opposing sign to Gemini. So of course, I'm pulling in some of that energy, some of the more negative sides of that energy as well. But this is a time for us to allow an opening of some sort, right? An opening. Let's see how everybody else is doing out here. Mimi says, mostly it is about watching history for me. The story continues to unfold. Yeah. I get that from what I read. And I don't know, it's just so divisive. And you can just see that the Republicans are dug in and they're not going to yield their positions at all. And likewise, the Democrats are, dug in, and it's just amazing to watch. to not watch. Asa, good morning to you. Londa, good morning. Linda says, I signed up for the talk. Yay. I begin things ready for Kay's visit tomorrow. No negotiation for settlement, holding out for more money. Good for you, Linda. Dawn, wow, never thought about unrealistic expectations being a part of Sagittarius energy. I'm a Sag moon who often gets disappointed. Now I know why. Yeah, it's not so much. I don't want you to think that any expectation is unrealistic, but is it coming from a place of truth within you? Or is it something? Remember yesterday we were talking about true manifesting and wanting versus immature wanting. So I think sometimes we take in these expectations from the outer world. The conditioning field tells us in some respects what it is that we should want, or what it is that we should expect of our lives, of our relationships, of our, you name it, right? Our jobs, our careers, etc. And then if we fall short of the world's expectations of us, that can be as devastating as failing in your own expectations. So the key to that is making sure that they're your own expectations and not someone else's, and that you always leave wiggle room in the expectation for what more is possible, right? What more is possible? Maybe you're not seeing the whole picture yet, and there's something much bigger that's possible in all of that. And also being okay that everything is in its right and perfect divine order, even if the expectation hasn't been met yet. It doesn't mean that you're never going to get it. It just means no, not now. So we have to manage our expectations better, because I think sometimes we get these lofty ideas of how things should be. And if the world isn't ready for that, or we're not ready for that, maybe you left something out in, the trail to get to that expectation that you need to go backwards and pick up before you can manifest that. So we want to manage our expectations, not give up on ourselves, just manage them a little bit better. And remember too, because this is mutable energy, we have to be open to change. We don't want those expectations to be cast in concrete or cast in stone, right? We want them to be able to be mutable, to be changeable, to be adaptable. And that's why this is fire energy that's creative and that's energizing, and that can also create change. When we think of, besides the devastating personal effect of wildfires or fires and the trail of catastrophe they leave, there's also something really unique that happens with fire energy. As it burns away the old, it sometimes creates the opening for new seeds. In fact, in California, and I'm not sure here in Washington, but there are some trees that can't reproduce without fire. That fire is the heat that brings out the seeds, that allows new growth. So wildfires, which have, evolved along with the climate and the landscape in the Western states, has a creative force attached to it. So as devastating and destructive as it looks on the surface, in some respects, it's also creating a pathway for the new. So fire, mutable, changing our thinking. What are our beliefs? What do we take as those things that are true? And are they really true? So questioning all of these things. And because the sun at some point here, close to Christmas, not close to Christmas, close to probably the winter solstice, is going to conjunct the Galactic Center, where Jupiter's been, where Venus is, and where the planet Ceres also went by. So we have more information incoming from source that we want to embody, more light coming in from source, more creative energy, more creative juice coming in from source. So we want to be open to that. Managing our expectations is just a part of that. It's the recognition that there's maybe more that's possible. Okay, questions, comments, go ahead and write those in here. Oh, Marissa says, thank you, trying to stay out of my head about it. Definitely. Good distinction, patience helps, and not comparing. Oh yes, huge, right? Huge there. Marissa, it also, comes to my mind that having been a mother of children who, 4 kids I had, and that meant 4 opportunities on any given day for some kind of conflict with some other kid. And I watched this with the football parents, and oh my Lord, all of the craziness that happens when parents try to live vicariously through their kids. So you want to be careful that you're not reliving your own wound through what's happening between your kids and the other kids, or the other parent even, right? So we have this tendency to come to the defense of our children. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because that's what your job is. But we also have a really nasty habit of reliving our own wounds in that respect, our own hurt, right? If bad names were being called, or people were being left out of something, or if our kids are, being hurt in some way, physically or mentally or emotionally, we tend to want to relive it through our own wounds. And it's not you, it's them. So maybe even asking your children, whoever is involved, what would you want to see as a result of this occurrence between you and this person? And go from that place, as opposed to your child's wrong, your child did this, or my child is, defending himself, herself, etc. Trying to keep defensiveness out of it and just be open. So I hope that helps too. All right. Also today, we have the moon now in Libra, not making any real major connections. Although early today, the moon is in opposition to Chiron. Interesting that I would bring up the wound, right? The wound that you're feeling. Now, by the time likely that you have the conversation with the other parent involved, that connection will have passed. But maybe as you think about how you want to present this to someone, Marissa, be thinking about what is it triggering within you. Okay, that's good with Chiron in the opposition early. Later in the day, the moon conjuncts the planet Selena. I think it's actually right now in process. Selena is our embodied light, right? Wherever Selena is in your chart is where you personally embody light and then project that light out into the world in its highest form. So finding where that is in your chart, so helpful. And obviously right now she is transiting through the sign of Libra, where the highest expectation is that of cooperation, co-creation, diplomacy, balance, harmony, peace, relationship, right? Also, the moon at some point today will square the nodes, the south node and the north node. And the nodes now, they're at like 9 degrees of Cancer and Capricorn. Remember, they backed into Cancer Capricorn from the 29th degree. And that means that we're not too far from a node shift. In fact, early in 2020, we will have a nodal shift from the signs of Cancer Capricorn to the signs of Gemini Sagittarius. That ought to be interesting in the grand scheme of things as we move into 2020. For that, you'll probably want to listen in to the 2020 Astrology for 2020 webinar. The details for that are also on the Living Astrology Facebook page. The squaring of the nodes challenges us to move out of the dark, out of the past, and into the future, and into our karmic path, our dharma. It challenges us to get on the right path. And then we also have today in the Pleiadian-Earth energy, we have 9 remembering. Remembering energy is Manique in the Mayan calendar, which is represented by the hand or the deer. It is also an energy of harmonizing and bringing cooperation and peaceful resolution to issues. The 9 itself is the universal energy of the day. Oh dear, hold on. Forgot to plug in my computer battery. Good catch. So the energy of 9 is the energy of the universe for the day. And it is about harmonizing everything that we've learned over this previous 9 days, 8 days. So the energy from the 1, which was, I believe, at 1 seeing, not sure now, and all the way up to where we've come from, right? Or where we're located right now. The energy of 9 is about harmonizing everything that we've learned up until this point, seeing the interconnectedness of everything that we've learned up to this point, seeking peace and cooperation. The energy of the earth today, Manique, or remembering, is about awakening to the memory of who we really are. Who we really are. This is about the idea of correctly surrendering. And I got a great little definition for you for surrender. It isn't about letting go of something, of losing something. It's about freely letting go of and releasing control. It does not equal loss. Right? Surrender does not equal loss. We're thinking of the surrender with the white flag where, we've just lost the war or the battle, but that's an old way of thinking. That's an old paradigm. What we're recognizing now is that surrender is about letting go of control, surrendering to the possibilities that exist outside of our limited beliefs and thinking processes. What more is possible, right? Moving away from separation and returning to unity or oneness. That is the high side of the Pleiadian-Earth energy today. Now, we also have Mars today at moving into a new gate. It was at the gate 50 where it has been talking to us about bringing us the need to take action on our values. What do we value? Love and all of that. Moving us into the gate 28 now, where it is struggling with purposelessness. We have to move into totality, the totality of being, the totality of how we are all interconnected. There's a tenacity of Mars in this energy. So Mars is an action principle. It wants to hold on doggedly here in this gate to the old. But what we have to do here is surrender to evolution, right? Surrendering to the totality that's moving us in this spiral of consciousness to ever more unity consciousness, universal consciousness even. All right, that is just for today. Yay. So Christine Erickson, good morning to you. And Allison, good morning. Marissa says, exactly, because this is a trigger for me on several levels. I want to acknowledge wrongdoing, be compassionate, but not throw my children under the bus to people. You wouldn't want to do that, but you would want to start, if you're moving into a conversation with someone, you start out by recognizing that your children, both sides, are growing and maturing, and they're going to make mistakes, and it's up to us as parents to teach them values, right? And how to solve problems in a high consciousness sort of way. So in real part, your attitude is actually going to drive how the conversation might go, right? There's an exercise that I've done in the past when I've had to have a difficult conversation on the phone with someone, maybe I'm trying to remember. There was once I had a difficult issue going on with the power company. And so I set the intention before the call, before I even dialed the phone. I sort of sat in a meditative state, and I sort of wrote the script for how I wanted this to go. Maybe not all the details, but overall, I wanted them to be able to see my point of view. I wanted to be able to see their point of view. I wanted to be able to have forgiveness in it if indeed this mistake, which I was very clearly was theirs, was made. And I set that intention of how the conversation would go. I even set the intention that at the end I would get an apology. And it was amazing to me. The whole entire conversation sort of went the way that I had envisioned it or intended for it to go, up to and including that apology in the end. And neither one of us lost in this. It was, they recognized there had been an error, and they fixed that error, and then they apologized for that error. We both went away happy. I didn't adopt an air of accusation. I wasn't accusatory. In other words, I was just saying, this is a problem, blah, blah, blah. So you can do the same, Marissa. You can set the intention before that conversation of what you want that outcome to be, of how you want that conversation to be, how you want it to go, how you want your attitude to be, a state of forgiveness or a state of openness, whatever it is that you need, you can set that intention. And we can all do that in all situations in our lives, right? Because you know what you're feeling. You're feeling that rising anger perhaps, or that anxiety about having to confront somebody, and or the fear that they're going to get angry or this is going to blow up on you in some way. Um, so, take that and channel that into intention of manifesting it as an outcome that's beneficial. It's a win-win for everyone. And that your children learn something valuable, and that you solidify a relationship with this person that could be the potential of a friendship. I mean, it all depends on how you want this to end or where you want this to go. Okay. Saturday now. If you guys have any questions about the energy for today, you can certainly write those up there in the chat. Saturday, of course, the moon all day in the sign of Libra. Well, I say all day, but literally all day until the evening, where we have a void of course moon, another fairly short one, from 6:49 p.m. West Coast time until 9:58 p.m. West Coast time. So the East Coast, this is actually happening for you later in the evening and over the midnight hour into the next day, where the moon is moving void until it moves into the sign of Scorpio. So Saturday morning when we all get up, likely, or Saturday all day, the moon is in Libra. Sunday morning when we wake up, the moon will be in Scorpio. So what can we expect on Saturday? Well, of the days in the weekend from today and then, Saturday is actually the calmer of the days in terms of all of the astrological landscape, but it's the Hail Mary day of the week in terms of what happens in your human design and how the energy shifts at this point. So Saturday, we have the moon in a square to Saturn and Pluto. We're used to this, guys. We've had this sort of energy being triggered for us a lot, where we have maybe the next level in the deconstruction of our beliefs or of something in our world, and that's leading us to reconstruct, to rebuild, to energize the new. And then we also have a sextile from the moon to Venus and Jupiter, which are, of course, aligned at the Galactic Center. What more is possible? Right? What more? What can I bring in and, how can I embody more light and then shine that light out into the world? So let's talk about the human design. So the sun and earth move into the gate 34 and 20. Let me show you that really quickly. I had to highlight it in because this is a chart of today. But if you see that green highlighted area, this is the gate 34 down here. And it moves up to the gate 20 up in the throat center. This is the archetypal energy of the manifesting generator. So what that means is that as of tomorrow, we all become energized by the energy, the vitality, the life force of the sacral, making its connection directly up to the throat. So this is a time of increased energy and activity where we are fast processing things, we are fast getting things done, we are multitasking, we are juggling, we are moving through our day with lightning speed, life force and vitality moving at the speed of light, straight to the throat where we make things happen. Now, if you're a projector, manifestor, or reflector, you're going to be profoundly affected by this energy because you have an open sacral. So you're taking in the energy into the sacral and you are amplifying it and likely rebroadcasting it. So you're going to be profoundly affected and possibly find yourself with all this energy moving, getting things done, and then finding yourself exhausted. So you want to watch out that this injection of energy that has increased your ability to get things done doesn't exhaust you. All right. And for those of you who are already generators or manifesting generators, don't ignore your own type, strategy, and authority in getting things done, because you can feel this energy of getting things done so easily and doing things that might not be correct for you. So don't ignore your type. Don't overdo. Don't push the river. This is turbocharged energy for all of us for the week. So it's temporary, right? You're borrowing it from the universal energy at the moment. So you have to listen to your body, and in doing things, you have to make sure that you take your breaks, you rest, you follow your type and your strategy. Okay, now we're also moving into 10 loving energy, and that is about manifesting love. Thank you, Mercury. Thank you, Mercury, in the shadow of going direct. Sorry, This one was my fault again. I didn't unplug myself, however, but my computer sent me a message asking if I wanted to restart. And I thought I said later, but instead I said now. And my computer just went through a restart and an update. Lord help me. Just Lord help me. So where was I? I was talking about the Pleiadian-Earth energy for Saturday, which is 10 loving. So 10, the manifesting energy of building upon all of the things that we've been trying to create in our lives. So now we are doing more of the work of manifesting. So the 10 energy is building upon the things brick by brick. So very kind of Saturn feel to this one, where we are putting in a new brick on top of the old bricks, and or on top of a new foundation, and we are building something. We can be highly challenged on a day like tomorrow with this energy if we haven't been doing the work that the universe has been prompting from us. So we want to be open to listen. Okay, we're trying this yet again. So hopefully you guys are finding me. And I don't know what the heck is going on here today, but I'm having fun. Are you? So hopefully you got the information about the 10 energy for tomorrow. Let's go to the loving energy and what that means. In the Mayan calendar, the energy of loving was Lamat. And Lamat was the representation of the god Venus, or the goddess Venus, excuse me, and the representation of Venus in the night sky. And here inborn in all of the energy of tomorrow is this unconditional love, acceptance, and literally the expression of Christ consciousness, which of course the Mayans wouldn't have had any inkling about what that is, but we now know, or we have a model of what Christ consciousness is. And it's that absolute unconditional love and forgiveness and gratitude. And so tomorrow's energy is about manifesting more of that on the planet, that acceptance and love. We really, really, really need that. We need more and more of that on the planet. And the more we can embody that, the more we can express that, the more we tune into that, the better the planet does overall. All right. So I am so sorry that I have been in and out here today. Don't understand exactly why I have to. Are we having fun yet? I keep popping in and out of existence today. I don't know what's going on. Every imaginable kind of warning has been coming up telling me my camera wasn't working, or my internet connection was unstable, or the latest one was that my browser wasn't working correctly. Okay, so what am I going to do about that? Well, I'm just going to start closing windows here on my computer and hope and pray that that's the issue. So I apologize. I don't know what else to say except thanks, Mercury, for the fun and play and trickster energy this morning. Let's go into Sunday. Sunday. The moon is in Scorpio, and this will be the intense day. I am nothing if not tenacious and perseverant. I don't know what the deal is this morning with the internet, or with whatever is going on with Facebook changes maybe in behind the scenes. I don't know what the deal is. However, I'm back. So hopefully you all find me yet again. And hopefully this time we are more stable. I don't see any problems going on in my system. So who knows? Shall we go into Sunday? It's going to be funny when I go to produce this broadcast later. I'm going to have 4 videos that I'm going to have to string together. It's going to take me forever. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so Sunday, moon in Scorpio. And here is the day of the weekend that I believe if we're going to have any kind of problems, it's going to be here. And that's because there are several different things that are going on, some that seem to be pulling us in different directions, and that can make for a difficult day. The moon in Scorpio will conjunct Mars, newly in the sign of Scorpio himself. The moon will oppose Uranus, our trickster, our, well, Mercury's the trickster. He's the awakener, the rebel. And then also the moon will conjunct Mercury. So our moon is being a trigger to some very maybe conflict or confrontational energies on Sunday, as well as generating some surprises and unexpectedness. And as well with Mercury causing us to really take a look at what it is that we're going to say before we say it, and or being in a position of reacting instead of responding. So it is going to be a day for sure where we want to take great care in our emotional intelligence, right? What are we doing with our emotions? Now, also on Sunday, Venus conjuncts Jupiter. We've been waiting for this and alluding to this all week as to the two benefic planets coming together at the Galactic Center and showering us with beneficial energy, but also with the energy of cooperation, creativity, optimism, forgiveness, generosity. So some really feel-good energies coming in here, raising our light quotient, right? Giving us access to the light, to seeing more of living more from ideals and how it is that we could possibly create that. We'll have to watch, of course, for a few things like overindulgence, right? Anytime you've got Jupiter, Moon, and Venus coming together, the tendency to overindulgence, overspending, overdoing can be really important for us to watch out for. And you kind of couple that energy on Sunday with the Sun and Earth now sitting at the 3420 in your human design, giving you easy access to high energy and high vitality. And you can see how easy it might be to get into overdoing. So watch for that. But it will be a day, a time that Venus and Jupiter remind us to live, love, and laugh. And that's the important message of the day. But there's more, because it's never really that easy, is it? It can't be just that one thing. We also have Mars. So remember I said we had the moon in Scorpio opposing Uranus. But the moon in Scorpio was also conjunct Mars. So we have a moon-Mars conjunction opposing Uranus. So it's not just the moon opposing Uranus, it's also Mars. This is impulsive energy, right? This is energy that thinks or acts first, thinks later, right? Instead of thinking first and then acting, it is very impulsive energy. And that can bring up unexpected results of the actions that we take or of the words that we say. So we have to be really, really careful of being impulsive, but also that there could be unintended or unexpected results from our actions. But on the high side, this could be a day that we get freed up from the restrictions that we've placed or imposed upon ourselves. We could get really clear of some of the old baggage if we're willing to let it go, if we're willing to release. Surrender maybe is another good word for that day. If we're able to do that, then we could find freedom in a day like that day, like Sunday. But Mars, Uranus cause us to have a distinct need for us to be quite conscious, because there is an accident proneness to this day. There is a conflict possibility in this day. Conflict and confrontation energy are also a possibility. So we need to be careful, right? If you get behind the wheel of a car, be careful. If you're holding or wielding a knife in some way, be careful. If you're walking down a dark alley in a place that you're unfamiliar with, be careful. And I don't say this to you out of a sense of fear, but what can happen here is we get so into movement and motion and taking action that we lose sight of what's going on around us. So if we have tunnel vision and all we can see is that we've got this damn traffic jam in front of us, we don't see that, we've blown through a stop sign maybe, or that the light changed and someone else blind to what's going on runs through the intersection. So careful, right? Careful, watch being impulsive. If you're going to handle metal of any sorts, take care. Now, the outer world can also show us sort of this catastrophe craziness. So Sunday may be a very odd day, as we have this high side of embodying the light through Venus and Jupiter, and on the other side we have Mars that could create some kind of turbulence or storminess. We also have the sun in a minor square to Saturn on Sunday. And that can make us discouraged. It can give us that momentary, oh, what is it all for? Remember, Mars is at the gate 28, and in its lowest energy, the gate 28 is about purposelessness, where what's the use, right? This is never going to come to fruition. What am I here for? I can't find a purpose in my life. So the best way for Sunday is to take heart. If you start feeling discouragement or anything like that, it might be difficult to bring up good feelings for a while on Sunday. So gratitude, start just being thankful for your coffee cup, thankful for the coffee in your cup, thankful for the chair you're sitting in, thankful that you're alive, that you're breathing, that your heart is beating. Try to shift the energies within you so that the outer world begins to mirror to you that shift that's going on. And the shifting energies, the turbulence in the atmosphere, if you will, on Sunday can be upsetting, but be steady, right? Be steady within yourself. We're used to change. We're used to turbulence. We're used to chaos. It's become quite the experience that we've had on this planet lately. So we just have an opportunity to shift that, to lean into the light, right? Leaning into the light. Letting go of some of that old energy that may be coming up now for us to let go of. It's an interesting day from the Pleiadian-Earth calendar as well, because it is an 11 universal day and a feeling day. So it's Muluk in the Mayan calendar, which was the energy of water, rain, flow, emotion. Right? So 11, the universal energy of Sunday, is about seeing the light. It's really about embodying illumination. So the high side of the day is that even if there's chaos and turbulence and conflict or, potential issues going on in the outer world, that if you look within and you just embody the light, then you become an illumination of what more is possible on the planet. As opposed to the other side here, which is with this feeling energy, we can become very emotionally reactive, right? So we can become triggered, and from being triggered, we can be reactive, as opposed to breathing first and then responding. So reaction versus responding. It doesn't mean that we don't feel deeply whatever it is that hurt us or whatever it is that we're being confronted with, whatever the challenge is. It's not that you don't have the feelings about it. It's that you're not reacting, knee-jerking to that feeling, but using it as a way to help you get right, to get back on the right track, to use that energy to shift to a better feeling energy. It's not that you don't want to feel that energy, because we wouldn't, what you resist persists. So it's not that you want to not feel. It's that you want to be able to use it to understand that maybe your thoughts or your reactions are going to be in the negative as opposed to the positive. Hopefully that makes sense. I see more of you joining me, and I just apologize for all of the craziness this morning. Karen Devine, good morning. Debbie Hedden, thank you for coming back. Christine Erickson, Londa, great to see you guys. I saw Mimi in here. We're here with you and for you. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Marissa came back. Londa, why would I feel like I'm being attacked? That is that Mars energy. So I know some of you may have not been able to join immediately as I came back on air for the fourth time. But the energy on Sunday is very Mars oriented, as well as Venus conjuncting Jupiter. So we've got this beautiful energy on one hand, juxtaposed against this other attacking, confrontational, or conflict-ridden energy of Mars in an opposition to Uranus. And also Mars in a conjunction with the moon. So it sort of amplifies our emotional energy. And if that emotional energy is triggered by something, anger perhaps, then it magnifies the reaction. Couple that with the human design energy on the weekend of this huge well of sacral energy, and we can absolutely put ourselves out there in the wrong way. Now, I'm not so worried about you guys doing that. I'm more worried about the people who are totally unconscious about what's happening here and will strike out at you all, or, come at you in some way. So being careful not to, you're in the know. So you can monitor the attack, if you will. And if indeed there's something like that that happens, the only response to attack is love, right? Love. You can't meet attack with more attack. You can't meet attack with defense because it ends up being a fight. But if you meet attack with love and an open hand, it holds the potential for peace. Now, you can't, of course, make somebody behave in a way, anything other than what they're going to behave. But you do always have the option to monitor your own response up to and including walking away, right? Walking away, hanging up the phone, getting off of Facebook, getting off the text messaging, and moving out of that energy of attack. The real high side of Mars involvement at all on Sunday is really about Mars and Uranus freeing yourself from those old impulses, from those old energies, right? That striking back at someone kind of energy. And we've all done it, and we are all likely going to feel it in some way. But your feeling attacked doesn't make it true. And even if it is true in some way that people are attacking you, then what you do is you greet it with love. And by the way, Londa, I'm dying to know how your radio show went yesterday with the other Janet. So I'll give you a ring up after the show this morning. Okay, so because of all the shenanigans going on in the internet, I find now we are at 5 minutes to 9. Let's do some readings because I would bet some of you would like to know what's going on. Londa, I'm going to pull a card for you because I already know you have an issue. And Marissa, I'm going to pull one for you as well. I'm going to write your names down. And anybody else? Londa and Marissa. Anybody else who would like a reading that's still with me, please put that down here and let me know that you would want one. And I will be happy to do that for you. So this morning, for those of you who kept missing out every time I popped back off the internet, it may take me a little bit longer to produce this video into YouTube, so I will make sure I post that on Facebook for everyone when it's put together so you can hear the whole show. Londa, this card is for you, and I'm doing this from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Kathy Miller says, brr. Good morning, Kathy. Yes, it's brr here too, but I'm inside where it's warm, so I'm happy. It's warm and dry in here. It's cold and icy outside, and I can hear those workers. They're still out there this morning, but they must be working at a further spot away from my house because it's not as annoying this morning. Londa, so I get the card Poised for you. Poised, and it was in upside down, so protection. It is also card number 48, which is a 12, which is a 3. Ooh, creativity in the approach here. So let's read about 48. And I hope you're still there, Londa, and that you're hearing that this card is for you. If not, I'll read it to you later, or you can listen to the recording. So the card 48, Poised, says being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best, and confidence. And in the protection message, it says, you're not ready to move forward at this time, and that has to be okay. Be poised in the face of demands and deadlines. Pretending you know what you're doing works sometimes, but if you adopt a fake it till you make it attitude, it will land you in some muck now. This is not the time to wing it and deliver something half finished. It's okay to postpone things until you are really ready. It's better to disappoint others now than to wish you had later. I hope that makes sense for you, Londa. It also makes me think of, that energy of not responding, or not reacting to what other people might be bringing up to you, not pretending that you are, something that you're not. So I hope that helps. Marissa, I'm also going to pull one of these cards for you. And let's see, anybody else wishing for a card? Mimi would love an animal card. I would do that for you, Mimi, and also you, Debbie Hedden. And Debbie, I'm going to put Mimi wants animal. That doesn't sound right. I'm sorry. Debbie H. Okay. And Becca Morris. Good morning. I don't know you, so you must be new. Karen and Becca, I will get cards for you as well. Oh, hey. Oh, my Lord. Okay, Marissa. So a card jumped out and landed on the floor here, and another one jumped out the other direction. So we have Treasure Island by the card that dropped on the floor, and I'm not sure if it would have been upside down or not the way I picked it up. It came out in protection mode. And the other card, believe it or not, Poised. So you and Londa have twin cards. Apparently we need to hear the upright message in that one as well. And let's take a look at what Treasure Island means. So Treasure Island was the first card I picked up. It is number 9. So let's look at that one. And I may read that both up and protection, just because, again, I'm not sure what the intention was. Treasure Island. The essential meaning is the law of attraction bringing dreams into fruition. The results of positive thinking made manifest. Abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. In the Oracle's message upright, it's you've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off. Don't forget to enjoy and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. And just because, again, of the way it fell, I'm going to read the protection message. Poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough casts a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectation? Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that others will want to cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in a fear that you will lose what you have acquired, so you hold on so tight that you miss the opportunities to expand? You are challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitations to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your confinement in a prison of your own making. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. And we're going to go back to Poised 48, because apparently we needed to hear both the protection, and this one was definitely upright for you, so we're going to hear that one as well. So again, Poised basic meaning is being ready, bringing something to light, and being at your best and confident. You can be assured that you are ready for anything right now. You know what you need to. Your skills are sharp. You've come to this place armed with wisdom and knowledge, and you sense a new phase of your life about to begin. People respond to your confidence and trust you. This is an auspicious time to begin new things. Like those. Those are nice cards. All right, Marissa. Mimi, an animal card. So let me open up the animal deck here. This is also a Colette Baron Reed deck called the Spirit Animal deck. Lovely pictures on the front. I love these cards. They're so gorgeous. So Mimi, this is for you. And then Debbie Head and you will be next, but this is Mimi. They want to be really mixed up for you, Miss Mimi. Oh. Grounding. No, groundhog spirit, right? It says time to let go. Num, num, num. It is card number 31, which is a 4. So but look how cute. Look at that. Look at that face. Lovely. Okay, so let's read what groundhog spirit says. Card 31. I don't think we've ever had this one before either. Helps if you use the right book. Okay, so card 31 says time to let go Endings lead to beginnings, and death is a part of life. So Groundhog Spirit is here to let you know that it is time to accept the natural ending of something that is no longer serving you. We love to hold on to what is familiar, but the new needs space to arrive so growth can occur. When Groundhog Spirit appears, it is a sign there is something in your present situation that you need to let go of so that something new can be born, something that will far better serve you now. When the groundhog sees his shadow, he retreats to his den. So too might you yearn for a little more time to say goodbye and transition into the new. However, change is coming and it is good, so let go of your resistance. Spring brings many blessings, and what must die will always be reborn in a new form that will be right for you. Life requires change and detachment. Say farewell to whatever once served you and get ready for something amazing to take its place. Spirit is already sending it your way. Wow. That's a pretty cool card too. All right, Debbie Hedden, let's take a look here. Did you tell me what kind of card you wanted? Okay. No. Okay, so guess what? Debbie Hedden, I'm going to pull an animal card for you. So I have that here. Let's see what we get. And Debbie, I know sometimes you have to leave us for picking up your grandchildren or grandson or something. So if you have to leave, check back on the recording, because everything seems, I shouldn't even say that, but everything seems to be working on the internet now. Oh, you have 2 cards here. Sandpiper, actually 3 cards. Oh my goodness. And all 3 of them are upside down. So what, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. 1 is right side up, 2 are upside down. So the ones that are upside down, Sandpiper, card number 51, says be playful. I mean, I can already see that perhaps you've gotten too serious about life maybe, or something there. And it says to bring some balance to your life. We'll read what Sandpiper means. The other upside down card is card 67, which is Wolf. And it says turn knowledge into wisdom. It was also in protection, upside down. And the third card, if you will, an outcome card. It's how I usually think of it when 3 comes up. It's like a story we're reading here. And this is the last chapter, and it's called Whale Spirit, Trust the Great Mystery. And it was right side up, card number 65, which is an 11, which is about the light, right? It matches our day on Sunday where we have illumination. It matches our Jupiter-Venus energy at the Galactic Center, bringing us light. So, wow, that's quite the energies. Let's dig in here, Debbie. So, Sandpiper Spirit, number 51, and it was upside down, and the card itself is saying, be playful. So, protection. When your heart is heavy and life seems to weigh you down, Sandpiper Spirit's message is to lighten your burden by finding joy and humor in the everyday. Become like a playful child, filled with curiosity and wonder, and soon you will find you feel your own spirit lift. A few minutes or hours of fun-filled delight is exactly what you need now. Enjoy the ridiculousness of life and be willing to jump in. Let your inner goof out to express itself with abandon. I love that. Let your inner goof out. 67, Wolf Spirit is also in protection. Is that the last card in the deck? No, not quite. And its message says, turn knowledge into wisdom. And in protection, it says, what is unknown is still yet to be discovered. When Wolf Spirit appears, you are being told not to pretend you know something when you don't. You won't impress anyone with a little bit of knowledge. In fact, you rob yourself of a true experience and education if you tell yourself you are done learning or you don't have to know something. Be open, be humble, be teachable, and the world will open itself up for you like magic. Now is the time to look into the world with reverence and awe and an insatiable curiosity. You will never grow old if you are willing to learn, to keep learning. Wolf Spirit is waiting to be your mystical, loving guide. So be playful, be teachable, and then Whale Spirit says, trust the great mystery. I love that there's a story here. And Whale is upright, so we'll read the Oracle's message. It says, whale spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. In the hidden realms where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, whale spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest seas. When whale spirit appears, it is a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition and through the peripheral senses that part the invisible veils separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realms. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by angels. Whoa. Just whoa. Well, Debbie, I hope all that's meaningful for you because that's quite the story to tell. I love it. All right. Now, I see there were other people after Debbie. Becca, Allison. All right, Allison and Becca. Becca, I'm going to take you first, and I'm going to do the wisdom of the oracle cards for you. And then Allison, I will do a card for you. Let's see what you get, Becca. And welcome to the Meta Cafe. We're glad to have your energy joined with ours. And, ooh. Oh, I can't even believe I drew this card for you because her question was about a partner. Can you see if I have a partner coming? And what I drew was soulmate. And it was in upside down mode. It's in protection mode. So, which is card number 41, which is a 5. And let's see what that means. 41, soulmate. Again, it helps if you pull the right book. Okay, soulmate. So the energy of the card is harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. And it says, an important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and your old stories that don't serve your well-being enter into this dynamic so you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did he or she do this to me? But rather, what is the gift in this? Look into the mirror. You will only be changed for the better. That, I don't know you, Becca, and I can't even imagine what sign you might be, but I do know that the moon is moving into Libra right now, or has moved into Libra, and that is putting a lot of relationship focus into our lives. And with a card like this saying to look in the mirror, what is it that you're not seeing? What truth are you not seeing about yourself? Or if there is someone in your life who has created a little bit of havoc for you, what does that mean? And what are you really looking for? I think it's a call for you to get clear about what it is that you want in a relationship. So I hope you find that helpful. And Allison, you are next. Oh, great, Mimi, I'm glad. And oh, good. Michelle Gay, good morning to you. Debbie Hedden says, I feel like you just laid out my life. That happens when we have a story, sort of. It doesn't happen very often when I'm pulling cards that I get that many, but when I do, I just know there's a story there. So I love that. Okay, so Becca's a Libra. Of course you are. Of course you are, Becca. I love that you're a Libra. I probably already sensed that. That's a perfect card for you. So relationship, front and center. But I think there's something more to it in that you've got to have a good relationship with you, because you want to be able to see a reflection of the highest and best in another person, right? Because that is you that you're seeing in the mirror. Okay, so after Becca was going to be Allison. Allison, I'm also going to pull a wisdom of the oracle for you. Okay. And you guys, I could sit here all day doing card readings. But, well, it doesn't matter. Right now, the internet's smooth, so I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing. Allison, ooh, to be fair. To be fair, card number 38, another 11, another thing about the light. She was in upside down protection, to be fair. So let's take a look here and see what that means. She's actually the cover, right? She's the cover of the deck. So 38. It's amazing how you all found me back again. Balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. And what she says is injustice and inequity are part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or are called to answer for a personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and for others. This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. Choose your cause and commit to it because you can make a difference. One thing is for certain, if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy, and courage. Nice. That's a really good card. A great reminder for all of us. Okay, Becca, after Michelle, I'm just going to see if there was anybody else after Becca and Allison that asked. No school today, Michelle. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more card readings. I'm going to do Michelle Gay, and then I'm going to do Dawn Goodwin. And I might as well, right? So Michelle, this one is for you. And it is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Paulette Barron-Reed. My favorite cards for the moment. That could change. I also like the Wisdom Keepers cards, but those are our lesson cards, I think. We'll probably dig into those next week to look at the Gate 34 about how we use our energy and our vitality. Whoa, okay. So Michelle, you get 2 cards. The top one is Time to Go. Card number 45. This one's upright. Time to Go. And the other card is Treasure Island, which we've already seen this morning. We had this from Marissa as well. I think it was in upside down mode. Now it's upright. So let's take a look at your mini story here. Right book. 45, which is a 9. So you have 2 9s. These cards are both 9s for you. One is 45, 4 plus 5, 9. And the other one is 9. So let's look and see what 45 is. Time to go. The essential meaning is endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. Here's the Oracle's message. You are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience this far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. Ah, love that card. And should you choose to make that move and let go, then Treasure Island is waiting for you. All right. And Treasure Island was the law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains and the sharing of good fortune. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot. Because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase, where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. Gotta love that. Both nines. So what are you letting go of? What are you moving on to? Right? That's the question. And last but not least, Dawn, we're also going to do the wisdom of the oracle for you. And you're welcome, Allison. And let's see here. I'm going to mix these up really good here. I would like to ask the cards about how to trust and how to stop fearing worst outcome. If I remember correctly, you have a defined ajna, right, Don? You also have a story. One is upside down regeneration, which hand? Regeneration, which is card number 46, which is a 10, which is a 1, which is an elevated new beginning, kind of, out of something that looks like maybe destruction, or it's sort of like the energy of the planet right now, right? The Saturn-Pluto conjunction getting ready, dissolving something in our world and creating something new. Here's the card upright. And then the second card I pulled for you is card 42 that says chop wood. Chop wood. All right, so getting on. The reason I asked if you have a defined ajna is because if you do, what you're doing is getting into a thinking rut. And it's just who you are, that you think your way through things. But you don't need to identify with what you're thinking. And you can also take your mind and focus it on something else when you're in that fear place, so that you don't have to keep thinking about that. Get a book, right? Get a book in Audible so that your ears are having to listen to something. And that focus then changes from what you're fearing to something more positive. And let's read card 46 in protection. It is the card that says regeneration. Its essential meaning is rebirth, second chances, and new opportunities. And it says, endings come in many forms, and now is the time to stop holding on to what must die so that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. And in its place comes chop wood. Chop wood, carry water. That's a Buddhist saying, I think it is, or maybe some spiritual saying. Chop wood, carry water. So you're chopping wood, being grounded in everyday experience and humility. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is the forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it is in full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. Take your attention away from what from your goal brings you into a state of receptivity. This is the deeper purpose for releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha, which brings you ever closer to what you seek. I love that. Those are good cards. Great lessons for all of us in these cards. That's why I love doing card readings, because I'm sitting there going, oh yes, I can resonate in my own life with every one of your cards. You may think it's for you, but you're really causing me to pull cards that are meaningful for all of us, because we're all here. We're all one, right? And if we're all one, then we're all experiencing the same energy. So I hope you find those things helpful. Again, I apologize for all of the crazy tech stuff that was going on earlier. Kate Dawn says, I was just thinking about getting an audiobook. Get a good audiobook, right? Get one that just makes you feel good, and plug it into your ears if you have to, and just, listen to the positive things that people have to say. And anyway, Michelle, you're welcome. And Christine Amala Hayes. Amala, hello. I will do one for you, Christine or Amala. So one last card before I go. because I just saw that a different, and Karen, and Amala. All right, Amala, this one is for you. Karen, mwah, my apologies, girlfriend. I almost missed you. So, Karen, and this is for Amala. Just when you thought you were going, you're not. All right, for you, Amala. No place like home. In reverse, upside down. But if you look at the card, right, no place like home. Isn't that kind of fun? A little birdhouse with the moon in the background and the light of maybe of home coming from within. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's really a pretty card. No place like home, card number 50, which is a 5. Are you moving? That makes me think maybe there's a move in your future or a new home in your future. Let's take a look here. Okay, so the card's meaning is authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. So Amala, the gift for you, or the protection message for you, is there are times when what is familiar and known is not the best choice. Human beings are memory-driven creatures, and we all look for certainty, for what we know, even if the qualities we seek in other people and in external conditions are expressed in unhealthy ways. Avoid being too eager to find a home. Choose something unfamiliar and trust that there you will find a new normal that supports your spirit. Remember, if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. Do the opposite of what feels right, even if it's uncomfortable, because what feels right is really what feels familiar, and you will attract and be drawn to the very things you don't want anymore. This time will not be different unless you do something different. Well, that card took you in a direction that I didn't expect. That is kind of cool, right? Do something different. Okay. Karen Divine. This card will be for you. And then I will be done. Unless, of course, someone else has checked in. What if I just spend a whole... No, I'm not even going to say that. Okay, Karen, you get the card Thinker and card 44. So this is a master number. 44 is an 8, which brings us to that infinity with hearts meeting in the center. The card Thinker. Is your mind overly busy? What are you thinking on? What are you focused on? Let's see what that card means. We've had this one before recently, like maybe it was a card for us for the week or something. So Karen, the essential meaning of this card is strategy, being analytical and logical. And the Oracle's message says, the ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple, and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. While I was reading that, I also got a message that you need an animal card. So I'm going to draw one more card for you, Karen, and then that will be it for me for today. Oh, here you go. Grasshopper Spirit. Take a leap of faith. Card number 30. Take a leap of faith. That's actually kind of an interesting looking card. Grasshopper. And that's from this other deck, card number 30, which is a 3. And that makes me think about creative energy, etc. So the Oracle's message for you is right now you are poised to jump up into the next level of your life and move forward into something even better than you could ever imagined. When Grasshopper Spirit appears, it is a fortuitous time to take a leap into the unknown, for Grasshopper Spirit represents the innovative spirit that says, why not? And has faith in the powers of co-creation. You are being called to trust that this is the right time to go with that idea, relationship, or situation. Take risks, for abundance in all forms will show up for you. Wondrous things await when grasshopper spirit appears. You are not going to go backwards, so listen to your intuition rather than your fearful ego that resists any change and clings worriedly to what was. Luck is on your side. Jump up and forward with confidence, for Spirit has much in store for you if you only take that leap. That leap. Maybe getting a little bit out of your mind and a little bit more into the action. Not sure, but I think that was a great fitting ending for us today. That is it for me. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Remember, a little bit of craziness on Sunday and also some really highlight good energies available as well. And I'll see you all on Monday. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye for now. As soon as I find my mouse. See you later.